What is up? Maayong hapon mga kaigsunan, mga kaibigan o mga ka-Facebook diha. I'm with Coach Roy here from Cebu. Galing pa siya ng Victoria. And then drove 5 hours here to Canberra para lang mag-lunch. Isipin nyo, ganun siya katindi na kaibigan para mag-lunch.
Lunch lang.
Lunch lang, tambay.
Lunch lang.
Then later
Tapos
uwi
uwi.
na. But I do have few questions, no, because these questions maybe hindi natatanong usually on TikTok or maybe on Facebook. Quick background. Ano yung current na work mo ngayon?
Currently working as a physiotherapist in Cobram, Victoria.
So, physiotherapist, ano yung ginagawa usually ng physiotherapist? Yung
Handling stroke patients, ganun. Basically helping the injured get
Right.
back to work.
right.
Oh.
Now, I know you from the Philippines sa Cebu as yung coach namin dun sa gym. Was that your full-time job prior to coming here in Australia?
Parang hindi. It was mostly like a part-time job for me.
Right. So, ano yung full-time job mo before ka pumunta
I was
dito?
a home physical therapist.
Private physio.
Parang ganun. Or home physio.
Home physio.
Oh.
And then here, yung trabaho mo related pa din.
Same. Very, very much the same.
Ano naman yung entry mo coming here? Did you have to go through a student visa or dependent ka ba ng partner mo? How?
We first came in as a student visa. Originally, we were planning to upgrade our business kasi we had a business back home. Opportunity came knocking after a year. I took it, I grabbed it, then we transitioned from a student going into working visa.
So ngayon, working visa ka pa pero you're aiming to have a business eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Kaluyan sa Panginoon, no? Puhon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question. If you had, let's say, 2 million pesos in savings
Okay.
sa Pilipinas, sabi mo nag-business ka sa Pilipinas, so
Oh.
meron kang experience doing business sa Philippines, would you risk coming here in Australia or would you rather do more business sa Philippines? Meron kang savings sa 2 million pesos, ha? Sabihin natin, extra cash.
Nasa bulsa lang.
Bulsa lang, ganun. Just lying around, ganun.
Yeah, I'd probably risk coming here to Australia.
And why is that?
Growing a business in the Philippines is pretty hard. You have to establish yourself first. If you're not popular there, then walang pupunta sa'yo. So here, you can start as nobody, build your way up. That's still the same, but it's different here. They really do support local businesses here. In the Philippines, they prefer much more
Sikat.
sikat, the brands, luxurious brands. So if you're not one of them, then
What type of business are you aiming to establish here eventually? I mean, not to jinx it, ha, pero
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
have an idea.
originally I was planning to have my own home gym, then have clients or patients come in. But yeah, that's still part of the plan, and I don't know, maybe some other trades as well. Also thought of being like a policeman.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yung benefits if you work for the
Yeah,
government,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
really, really good.
Really do want to try something else different
Okay.
because to be honest, I don't want to be a physio
Your life.
10, 20 years from now.
Baka ikaw nang kailangan ng physio.
Ako na.
You're here with your wife and your kid. Did you all come here together or nauna ka? How did it work?
Yeah, nauna kami ng wife ko, and then yeah, it took 10 months siguro before I could bring in my son. But he came in here as a tourist visa first. Then yun nga, with all our luck, after 10 months, we were able to convert it all our different visas into one working visa. So yeah.
So lahat kayo ngayon under all like iisang visa na
Yeah,
lang.
isang visa na lang ngayon.
Working visa.
Oo.
And you mentioned it took you 10 months. So nauna kayo dito and then 10 months after sumunod yung anak nyo. And why is that? Bakit ganun katagal? And what was happening during that time?
Ewan ko nga. Actually, dapat sabay-sabay kami pumunta dito. But we were given advices that, yun nga, it was better to establish first ourselves before bringing in someone in. But during my experience, I actually realized that it wouldn't have mattered. So if sumabay pa kaming tatlo, I think we would have a much more better first year experience here.
Right. Kasi kayong tatlo na kaagad.
Oo. Kasi kaming tatlo na, and it's always going to be happy if family is complete. It took 10 months because from different advices from people na try to establish yourself first in Australia. I think you have better chances of your visa getting approved if it's just the two of you. Parang ganun. So, yun. sumunod kami, pero yeah, naging miserable yung life namin actually kasi
Yeah.
kulang kami.
Yes. So, hindi
Oo.
kompleto yung bahay.
Oo, parang ganun yan.
Would you give this same advice sa ibang couple na planning to come here with a kid? Would you advise and tell them na isama nyo na yung anak nyo?
Mhm.
Or what would you say to them?
Just based on my experience, if you have the budget, if you have the money, sure, why not?
Right.
You can sustain. There are plenty of jobs actually.
Right.
Pag di ka lang maarte.
Yep.
But if you're just starting out, you're a fresh family and with a little bit of savings, then yeah, better if just both you and your wife would just come here first,
Okay.
and then
Bring in the kids later.
yeah, bring in the kids later, which
Right.
most people do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, in our case, it would have been different.
Okay.
We could have came together to Australia.
So, okay lang sana yun na kayong tatlo na sabay-sabay.
Okay, oo,
Okay.
sana.
How old is your kid?
5 years old.
5 years old. What would you say is the main difference between raising a kid in the Philippines versus raising a kid here in Australia?
Dami. Number one, yung disiplina. Di ka pwede basta-basta mag-discipline sa kanya dito. I don't know, they are very big here in kids protection or child abuse. Sa Pilipinas kasi, pag may masamang ginawa ng bata mo, pwede mong paluin, ganun.
Right.
Dito, di yan pwede. So, I guess discipline would be a big factor. How you were disciplined when you were little is basically how you're gonna
Grew
you
up
grow
as
up.
an adult.
Yeah, as an
Right.
adult. So if konting disiplina ka lang pag bata mo, then there's a tendency to be becoming rebellious. Ganun.
Yes,
Oo.
that's true. Let's talk about your work as a physio.
Mhm.
Ano yung mga culture shock moments mo when it comes to your work environment or yung katrabaho mo?
To be honest, totally different. Like sa Pilipinas kasi, pag PT ka dun, you're working with the doctor. There are some cases like in the hospitals that you cannot treat without a doctor's prescription
Mhm.
or the doctor's management. They see the rehab doctor first, then the doctor endorses yung mga kung anong gagawin, then they give that paper to you
Mhm.
para sundin mo. Dito, you are very independent. The moment the patient walks in, ikaw na talaga yung magpo-probe ng questions kung anong nangyari sa kanya, how long was the injury, parang ganon. And then, as well as you're the one diagnosing him.
In a way, parang yung trabaho ng doctor sa Philippines,
Oh,
ikaw na gumagawa.
Ako na, oo.
Right.
That's the difference between the physio here, dito, and the PT there sa Pilipinas. And yun nga, you're on your own. You plan the diagnosis, you plan the management, and parang you plan his entire treatment plan.
Yung
Parang
recovery
ganun.
plan niya.
Oh, yung
Okay.
recovery plan niya.
Now, what about your workmates, your colleagues? I mean, how were they to you? Obviously, you're Filipino. You're an outsider. You're an immigrant. How has their treatment been like? Were they okay with you or paano ba?
Baka masyak ka. Lahat ng kasama ko, puro Pinoy.
Ay, okay. Ganun. So, talaga.
Yung boss lang namin, tsaka yung admin yung Australian.
Right. Okay, sige. Then let's see kasi ikaw yung baguhan doon sa clinic tapos sa lahat sila Pinoy. Kumusta naman yung pakikitungan nila
Wala
sa'yo?
namang problema doon. Actually, magkakilala kami. Lahat.
Ay, okay. So, small world.
Parang ganun nga. And mostly, puro Bisaya.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. All of us are actually Bisaya.
So, di ra lesson mag-storya.
Dili ra.
Okay.
But yeah, there is a mutual level of respect,
Right.
which I did not anticipate.
Mhm.
Kasi, yun nga, kung baguhan ka, parang
Yeah,
you
keep
know,
your head down.
keep your head down muna. But the moment I got in, settled in, well, they treat me as one of equally the same.
Mhm.
Even the boss.
Mhm.
He treats me equally, parang walang mas taas sa'yo, walang mas mababa sa'yo. Yung parang ganun. So, it was quite a bit not anticipated by me because, iba kasi yung culture sa Pilipinas. Pag bago ka, parang yes sir ka palagi.
Oo.
Parang ganun. Dito, wala eh. Sometimes they even ask you for advice. Kahit tagal na nila sa industry. So, that's one thing I appreciate working here as a physio. Di kagaya dun nga parang bago ka pa tapos nagpakitang hilas, sasabihin nila, nagmamagaling yung mga ganun.
Right.
na type,
Bago
diba?
ka pa lang.
Oo.
Oo.
Tapos mapakitang hilas ka, dun, yun, parang nasa isip nila, nagmamagaling to, bago pa lang to.
Right.
Walang ganyan dito. So you are very much welcome to be really part of the team. So if may kailangan sila sa'yo and then you give out your opinion, they value it.
What about racism? Have you ever had any encounter with, yung racist people or racism in general sa public ba or sa workplace?
Sa work, wala. Pero may instance ako last January.
Aha.
Pero ako yung binintangang racist.
Why, sige, kwenta mo, anong nangyari?
It was during New Year's Eve. So, pumunta kami doon sa Melbourne. Sa Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Sa Melbourne. So, pumunta kami doon sa Melbourne. And then, pauwi na kami. It was anticipated na medyo daming tao.
Yes.
Sikit na. May isa kasing black guy or ewan ko ano yun, Nigerian ata yun. Talagang pinilit niya na pumasok.
Right.
Tapos ang sikip na namin.
Aha.
And then, ayun na, parang naipit na ata siya. Tapos nagalit na ako kasi parang push na yung mga tao. And then, I just told him na parang, why did you come in pa knowing na ang sikip na? Oh, and he said, I'm trying to get home. We're all trying to get home. And then, parang to make the long story short, he said that, is it because I'm black? He said, I never said you were black. I never said that you were black. Parang ganun ba? So, at least naman, yung mga tao sa gilid, parang dumipensa din sila sa akin.
Right.
Yeah, it was the only racism that I encountered. Ako pa yung nabintang.
Would you say na in general and so far in your experience, 1 year something na experience, very minimal or almost none yung racism issues?
Well, so far kasi 1 year lang ako dito, but yeah, I would say it's very, very minimal. Di nga sila nag-discriminate sa'yo na may tattoo ka,
yes,
or colored yung hair mo. I even heard some nurses na pupunta to work na colored yung hair. Parang ganun. So, the environment is very good here, or actually very good here in Australia.
What about, let's say, yung work benefits mo as a physio working in a clinic, yung work compensation? Is it something na kumaga kaya mong mabuhay with your salary, and then let's say sa cost of living, yung mga factors na ganun, monetary wise?
Masyado akong magastos.
Okay.
Yeah, hypothetically speaking, yes. Para you can be very, very well sustained with the income here, especially kung fully licensed ka. Kasi
Yes.
ako, limited license lang ako, or limited registration.
Okay. So, okay, sige. Pag-usapan natin yan. Ano yung ibig sabihin na yung partially licensed ka lang at saka
so,
full registered?
dito sa Australia, there are two types of physios. Yung limited registration, tsaka yung full or general registration. Pag full registration ka, the only difference is wala nang nagbabantay sa'yo. So, you're not under supervision. Parang ganun. So, you really work independently. And then, yung boss mo parang wala nang pakialam sa'yo. Basta you're doing your job, you're doing good, you're treating your patients, parang ganun, then wala na. Then, you work. Pero pag limited registration ka, you have these one-on-one, parang we call it professional development na seminar or sessions. So, it takes time then. Parang usually, you even get like an hour extra just to have those sessions with your boss.
Right.
And then, yun nga, you're supervised. So, it took a few weeks for me na parang hinayaan na ako na mag-treat ng patients independently.
But you're still, yung license mo, partial pa din.
Partial pa din. So,
And-
I have to take the exam para maging
okay.
full registration na.
What are the requirements for you to be able to take this exam? Anong kailangan mong gawin para makatake ka ng exam and eventually become, full license?
They have to have your records from your school, your previous school from
Right.
the Philippines. And then sometimes they have to match yung mga subjects. Dapat meron ka nito na subject na yung kailangan nila. So if not, then you have to take some additional classes, or yung iba nga nagma-masters na
Right.
of physiotherapy. Dun, so ipa-credential mo sa Australian Physio Council, then they assess it, and once they assess it, then you can apply for the exam. There are two types of exams, the written and then the practical one. If you pass the written, you proceed to the practical exam. Pass the practical, then yun, officially licensed ka na.
So parang board exam din in a way sa Philippines.
Same.
Okay.
Iba per profession dito. Like I've heard sa OT, yung occupational therapist, 6 months lang na supervision. After 6 months, full registration na sila.
So without even
Walang
taking yung exam?
Walang exam.
Do you have the plans na eventually kumuha ng full license, or what courses do you have to take para ikaw mismo?
Sa lugar ko ngayon, I have to take the exam only. Both exams to be a full registered physio. But, alam mo, tumatanda na tayo.
Right.
Wala na akong capacity to
Study.
work and study. Plus dagdag pa yung stress sa work and stress sa pag-study,
Right.
iwan ko na lang.
So maybe tabi na lang muna. Okay.
Baka si Mrs. na lang.
Okay, baka si and or maybe we never know in about 2 or 3 years time PR na kayo, maybe do your business. So we never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows after 2 years?
Do you have any regrets? Let's say coming here in Australia, any regrets at all with regards to maybe friends na naiwan mo or family back home, especially celebrating Christmas here, celebrating occasions here na
Wala sila.
wala sila.
Or incomplete.
Yes.
Ganun. Wala eh. To have a better life, you have to have a trade-off. So yeah, we're making the most out of our time here. We're really trying to make it work, and so far it has. But yun nga lang, your family will be far, but that's okay. At least you can still visit.
Yes.
Naman. So yeah, no regrets for me.
Okay.
No regrets.
Hashtag no regrets.
Regrets.
No regrets. Any last message sa mga nagbabalak na pumunta dito as a physio or maybe study physio here? Any message of inspiration for them?
To the physios watching na parang nagbabalak na pumunta dito, just be prepared. You have to have an open mind. The job has its payoffs and trade-offs, but one thing is to be sure, you just have to be really, really confident. Kasi you're on your own here. You're the one making decisions here as a physio. Yun lang.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Coach Roy. Thank you so much. Salamat kayo, bye. Guys, if you enjoy this interview, we have more coming up. So make sure to subscribe, like, follow lahat ng mga social media channels natin. That's it for today. Alis na kami. Tapos na yung lunch. And then uwi na kami. Uwi na siya ng Melbourne. Uwi na ako ng Sydney. And thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Icon. And this is the Pinoy Expat. See ya. Yeah. Expat. Salamat kayo, bye. Yay. Nice kayo.
May kabayad ni Rona.